The Court of Justice of the European Union is continuing its attempt to enforce the primacy of European law over Polish law. In response to the ruling of Poland's Constitutional Tribunal, which sought to curb these efforts, the European Commission filed a complaint with the CJEU concerning the tribunal's functioning. The European Court will examine whether the Constitutional Tribunal is an independent and legitimate court within the meaning of European Union law. This plays into the hands of the ruling camp led by Prime Minister Donald Tusk, which currently does not control the Constitutional Tribunal, but wishes to. On December the 18th, the Court of Justice of the European Union is to issue a ruling on the European Commission's complaint against Poland concerning the functioning of the Polish Constitutional Tribunal. The complaint was filed after the Constitutional Tribunal recognised the primacy of Polish constitution over EU law. It ruled that the CJEU cannot unlawfully extend its powers and cannot interfere with the Polish judiciary. The European Commission disliked this so much that it brought a complaint against us to the CJEU after conducting an investigation. Interestingly, it also filed a complaint against Germany, but of course Germany did not face such negative consequences, even though the ruling of the German Federal Constitutional Court was much more far-reaching than that of the Polish Constitutional Tribunal. The future ruling of the Court of Justice of the European Union is causing much controversy, especially following the recent statements by the Advocate General of that institution. Dean Spielmann, a Luxembourg lawyer and Advocate General of the CJEU, stated in his opinion that Poland had failed to comply with its obligations under EU treaties in the judgments of the Constitutional Tribunal of the 14th of July 2021 and the 7th of October 2021. The Polish Constitutional Tribunal does not meet the requirements of an impartial and independent court established in advance by law. As constitutional lawyers emphasise, the CJEU's judgment may be similar to the Advocate General's opinion, as in practice the court's rulings rarely deviate from his position. The CJEU will want to hit back because the Constitutional Tribunal has ruled that Poland is not bound by CJEU rulings going beyond the scope of the treaty. So at this point the CJEU will claim that the Constitutional Tribunal does not meet the standards for judicial independence, and such action constitutes extra-treaty interference in the Polish judicial system. Only the state, each member state, has the title and right to organise its judiciary and the organisation of this branch according to the rules laid down in the Constitution. The Court of Justice of the European Union is known for overstepping its powers. The Polish opposition points directly to its politicised nature and desire to support Poland's current government coalition. This is not a serious constitutional court, nor is it a court in the true sense of the word, but rather a European body. It can be said that it is the most politicised, because the judges are appointed directly by politicians. The chair of the National Council of the Judiciary points out that within a year we may expect the European Commission to demand changes to the indicated judgments of the Constitutional Tribunal, and then submit a request to the European Court to impose financial penalties on Poland. The ruling of the CJEU is eagerly awaited by the ruling coalition, which wants the help of the European Union. If the CJEU ruling is in line with the Advocate General's opinion, I am afraid that it will end up being used as a political argument to appoint 2 more judges than there are vacancies in the court, simply to replace the judges appointed by the 8th term Parliament with new judges, and then we will face a constitutional stalemate. President Karol Nawrocki will probably not accept the oath of office from judges selected in this way. Currently, the ruling coalition does not recognise the legitimacy of the Constitutional Tribunal and, despite Parliament's long-standing obligation, has not filled the vacant positions, of which there will be 6 by the end of December. If Tusk's government had respected the law, we would not have any problems with this. We would not have the confusion and chaos that we currently have in the country. According to next year's budget bill, the government does intend to stop blocking funds for the Constitutional Tribunal. According to the opposition, this is closely related to the European Court's expected ruling. When the prospect of having a majority in the Constitutional Tribunal arises, they are already considering appointing and filling those 6 and soon 8 judges, that is the majority of the tribunal's composition, with their own loyalists. Such a tribunal would provide de facto complete legal immunity for the current politicians of the ruling camp.